Well, over the last few days, we've watched a mural take shape on the side of a Saginaw building. It sheds light on a contentious time in our nation's past by illustrating an ally who's standing up for the civil rights of Black Americans. We found this video of your uncle.
Oh, I've never seen that.
We looked through CBS News archives and found rare footage of a moment in time that carries so much emotion for so many people. A man on crutches pushes forward to the tune of Yankee Doodle Dandy. Alabama, March 1965, two large American flags waving on either side as Jim Letherer courageously keeps pace with those beside him. When you think of the American Civil Rights Movement, this may not be who you picture.
And when he marched in Selma, some people on the sidelines were kind of like, eh.
But you should know him nonetheless.
He was being booed, catcalls.
But he had a chant. He marched left, 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 because he had no right leg.
We found this incredible moment showing Jim on the left side of your screen marching alongside civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. They even appear to have a brief conversation.
He and Dr. King were very close. And in fact, when he died here in Saginaw, Coretta called my dad and, you know, offered her condolences.
And we found this video of your uncle.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Jim's niece, Mary Kay Cart's taken aback by the visual.
Yep, that's him. Can you imagine those uncomfortable crutches? The heat of the South.
Her uncle walked more than 50 miles protesting systemic racism in the Jim Crow South, racism that impeded the voting rights of Black people. He was diagnosed with cancer at a young age, eventually leading to the amputation of his right leg, something she says drove his compassion for others.
For someone to be judged, and I think from his perspective, from what you look like, because, you know, they would look at him and think, well, he can't do anything because he doesn't have a leg. And you know, back in that time, if you had any kind of disability, you also must not have had a brain.
Plumes of tear gas, people running, the trek through Selma and over the now symbolic Edmund Pettus Bridge, the backdrop of Bloody Sunday, where only weeks earlier, John Lewis and other civil rights leaders were infamously met with opposition and brutally beaten by police.
We were beaten, we were tear gas. I thought I was going to down this bridge.
The fact that once our people were totally and terribly brutalized here, and today we can march by this very same spot without being stopped and without being harassed up to this point, represents a level of progress that's very significant.
A piece of that progress depicted here, from Alabama to Saginaw, where Flint muralist Kevin Burdick turned the wall of this building into a canvas to illustrate a time in history that wasn't so black and white. Each brick a carefully colored detail of the past.
Seeing the family, our mural bring them to tears is, you know, the ultimate compliment, really. I just wanted his story to be told.
It's amazing, yeah.
The final painting unveiled Friday at East Genesee and Franklin. Inspirational for those who gathered, like Saginaw NAACP President Terry Pruitt.
Jim Letherer is from Saginaw. Little known for many of the people in this community. If Jim Letherer, a Jewish, one-legged amputee, could walk with Dr. King, then we can walk together to solve some of our community's problems.
The Saginaw Sun mid-stride in Alabama, standing for civil rights, marching for progress.
Though we've come a long way, we are still being judged by the color of our skin. We are still. And my hope and prayer is that everyone that looks upon this says, if Jimmy could do it, why can't I?
And Selma was not Jim's first nor his last march. He traveled around the country and world fighting for civil rights. He's even been honored with a statue down south and in a song by Pete Seeger. Jim died in the city he was born in 2001. The Great Mural Project, along with the NAACP Saginaw branch and Pit and Balcony Community Theater, helped bring the project together.